Okay, I already know what you're thinking, and I know what you're about to say. Kevin, you do realize you missing a lens on the left side of your glasses. Yes, I know this, okay? However, until my other glasses come in, we're going to make this thing work. So this called me Patch Eye. All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of Catch the Vision, where we highlight trailblazers who's turning their ideas into movements, revenue, collaborations. I'm your host, Kevin D. Williams, speaker, author, and communication professional. Today, for a third time, I don't know how she keep getting on this list, but I'm going to let her come in and do her thing, all right? She's not even a special guest. She is our superstar who's making history. And as you all know, again, for those who may not know, she is the first Black woman to actually register a drone academy in the state of Texas, founder of TCB Drones and Academy, and get this, since working with our agency, she's now has been featured on Black Enterprise, Yahoo Finance, Business Insider, and out there in California. So, my friend, Steffanie Rivers.
Hello,
how are thee?
I'm doing great. Busy, trying to keep up with myself, but I'm doing great.
Okay.
And you might as well make me a co-host or
I am. You want these glasses? We can start off with the glasses.
a resident guest. No thanks.
Okay.
You can keep those glasses.
All right. So, Steffanie, what's been most impactful, since, going viral with medias and all the different press releases that you've been featured on? Like, what's been most impactful from that?
The impact has been that a lot of people in our community are coming out, reaching out, emailing, calling, letting me know and letting us know, one, how much they appreciate the fact that there is a representation in this arena as a drone pilot, because we don't see, and I get it all the time, I rarely, if ever, see a Black woman who's a drone pilot. And so the second thing is people are interested in being in that arena and knowing, as with anything, knowing that there's somebody who has forged a trail for you to follow has attracted people to what we're doing. So what started out as letting people know that we're here and we are being successful in getting contracts. The second thing is we've now built a stream of income helping people to prepare for the FAA Part 107. So they too can be one of the first Black people or in their family or in their community to become a certified drone pilot.
So let's take a look back from all this media attention that you've been receiving. What are some lessons learned? Like, what do you feel like you could have been better prepared for? Those type of things. Because a lot of times when people or businesses gain media attention, sometimes it can be so much coming in that it can be overwhelming. You don't have the right systems in place to capture all that data. So, but I mean, and I'm just speaking in general, but what's a lesson that you would say, you know what, now that this has happened, this is what we need to do better at our company or with our company?
Well, I would say, being that we as individuals only have 24 hours in a day, we need to, and what I've learned is that I need to have a system in place for growth. Sometimes, you know, in my case, I was chugging along. I had time to respond to people who periodically would need a specific response, and doing emails. You know, I've got my email system going. And so the attention and attraction has been overwhelming for me as an individual. And so just now building a team, having people in place, which is kind of, you know, it's a catch-22. You don't want to have the people in place and not need them, but you don't want to have the need for them and not
have them in place.
have people in place. So it's a balance that you have to have, but be willing to manage your growth and be ready, because as I said in a previous conversation we had, I knew that it was just a matter of time that it was going to speed up. There was going to be a momentum that would occur, because this is a drone company. And so it was just a matter of time of getting the word out. That's important, because you can have the best product or best service, but if nobody knows it, then
you're a billboard in the desert.
Exactly.
Yeah. So out of all the different media platforms, if you just had to pick one that you're excited to be on, which one would it be? Or even two, maybe?
Well, I would say, you know, I grew up reading Black Enterprise. And so to know that now my story and my progress of the company was covered in that on that platform is an honor. Of course, being celebrated by people who look like me is always an honor.
Right.
And so I would say that one in Black News. And of course, you know, the other ones, once one platform, one media outlet does something, the next one catches on and the next one catches on. But it all started with
Black News.
Black News, yes.
So let's do a recap from the first drone networking event that had taken place here in Dallas, Texas, and it's called SkyHustle. You know, kind of share with the viewers what the atmosphere was like. And of course, you know, being the first drone networking event for Blacks and minority, you know, what stood out to you from that initial networking experience?
Well, what stood out to me is that there are people in this industry who were on our own island. And so when we came together at the SkyHustle event, the first one ever, it was exciting to see that we were reaching each other and coming together to network with each other. And so people traveled from all around the country.
Where were some of the places that they traveled from that you remember? I
remember Eddie, I think his name is, came from Charlotte, North Carolina area.
Ronald.
Ronald?
Yeah, Ronald Editon, yeah.
Oh, his last name is
Editon, yeah.
Okay.
That was, he came from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a good friend of mine, and I didn't even expect for him to fly in to the networking event. I knew he said he was going to work on attending the workshop. But yeah, Ronald. But who else came from a distance that you remember?
There was a Ronald from Florida.
Yeah,
flew in from Florida.
Yeah.
There was Joseph from East Texas,
okay.
like 2.5 hour drive. There were people from Houston, and of course the Dallas-Fort Worth area Metroplex was there, and they came to represent. So just people coming together. There were most of them were wanting to be in the industry, looking for that support, which is our X factor, is that we are here to coach and support an individual through their journey, and not just to get you get your certification, and that's the end of the story. You want to build this community. But then there were people there who already have their certification. And again, that lets you know there's more that needs to be done, because just because you have your certification now, we still need help getting into an industry, getting those contracts, getting those jobs. And so we can help and support each other. So that was the biggest lesson, is that, wow, we are on the right track with building the Black dronepreneur ecosystem that we need.
Okay. So you say dronepreneur, but do you think everybody wants to be a dronepreneur? Do you think there's a balance to have, people who are wanting to be business owners as drone pilots, and then there's the career part of it? Because and I'm asking you, because maybe I don't know. But do you think there's twofold to that, and not just necessarily always, the dronepreneur side?
Of course,
Okay.
Everybody doesn't want to have a business.
Right.
Some people, because especially in this social and political climate that we're in, are finding themselves in a situation where they're not making the money that they thought they would be making, the career they had. They didn't think, they didn't realize they wouldn't have that career at this point in their lives. And so they're just looking for a way to make more money, more money per hour, another stream of income on the side. And so, yes, there's twofold. The people who are looking for a job,
a career,
and then there are people who are wanting to start a business because they might be big picture thinkers and thinking outside of the career aspect of it.
All right, so let's talk about Drones and Dollars, the recap of that one-day workshop. In your opinion, what do you think the participants walked away with? And then, again, what did you learn as an instructor, teaching that one-day workshop to the participants?
What I think, and the feedback that I've gotten, that the participants got a full understanding of where drone technology is and where it's going, and the opportunity that is there for them to jump in, because technology is growing, and as most of the people in the room during the workshop confirmed, we are a part of technology, whether it's the $200 phone that we purchase, or the hundreds of dollars a month apps and services that we pay for to make our lives simpler. Got to pay for simplicity. So whether you are in it or not, you are in it. But what we need to do is, and the message that we wanted to convey, and I think we did a great job at, is that you need to be building a stream of income coming your way, and not just a stream going out of your pocket. And so what I learned is there is a need for us to better explain to people. If there's always a lesson in everything. So the lesson that I got was that don't overestimate how much people understand what they need to do. Be willing to break it down and show people why they need to be involved, and work with them, because I just came from an orientations class that I had, because I'm still learning. Everybody should be. And one of the things that I realized was that we all are going through some of the same things, and all maybe have started in the same place, whereby, there was a time when I didn't have enough money to put in my gas tank. I had to put $5 in my gas tank just to go from point A to point B. My car was repossessed at a point in my life because we all are going through a struggle. Not that everybody's had their car repossessed. People probably are better money managers than I was at that time. But the bottom line is, if you don't have enough money to pay your bills, that's the problem. Having the cash to do what you need to do and putting yourself in a position to get into an industry that is going to give you those the opportunities that you need. And so, you know, when you look at people in the curriculum or the majors that they decide to go to college for, or the careers that they try to get involved with, you have to not think about what's happening right now. You have to be looking at what's happening long term so you can have some longevity in your career. And for your kids, directing your kids in a path that's going to lead them to being able to sustain themselves, not just for today, but for 20 years from now, 30
but
years
hold
from
on
now.
a second. Now, I'm going to play devil's advocate. When you say directing them into a path, like, break that down, because for me, it's one thing to say what needs to happen, but without the understanding or, you know, the blueprint, like, so break that down to me, directing them in a path that takes them, you know, down the road 20 years from now. What does that look like?
So when I was in high school, I went to another high school out of my district because my mother got a letter that said, we want your daughter to be a part of the Southeastern Consortium for Minorities in Engineering program. It was called SECME.
Okay.
So that took me to a different high school.
Was that a high school that was predominantly white or predominantly black, or what was it?
It was probably predominantly white, but it was a good mix of students.
So are you saying it was like 60-40?
Yes.
Okay.
So the curriculum that we had put us on a path to have algebra, trigonometry, and all these different types of math and science courses that I probably would not have taken at the high school that was in my.
What were you taking at the other high school?
I mean, I don't know. I didn't go. But what I'm saying is, I would not probably have been on the path to take those types of courses. Now, I didn't know it, and my mother probably didn't know it, but somebody knew 20 or 30 years from that point, we're going to need more people who were
in the STEM space.
Engineers in the STEM space. Yes. So what I'm saying is, as a parent, even if nobody sends you a letter that says that about your child, their students, you as a parent have the responsibility to make sure that your children are on a path that's going to be sustainable to them for a long-standing career and, you know, whatever they plan to do. So that's important for us as parents, as individuals, as a community, because as we've seen, I read something the other day that said the Department of Education has removed $350 million in grants.
Well, it's because number 47 has dismantled the Department of Education. So that's
and so my point is, it's abundantly clear that some people don't care whether or not we get an education, we get a degree, we get a job. They don't care. So we have to start showing more initiative and more planning in what we're doing and align ourselves in the industries that are going to do that. And that's why I said what I said a couple of sentences ago.
All right. So I know for me at that workshop, there was a couple of things that came to my attention. First of all, one is, so let's just be clear, okay? The TCB Drones and TCB Drone Academy is for anybody, okay? Now, the focus is blacks and minorities, but anybody who have a desire to be a drone pilot or even be in that space operated by drones can be a part. However, there was one individual who showed up at the workshop, and apparently he had a hidden agenda. Now, he was a white male, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because again, this is not closed off to other ethnicities. It's for anybody. But when you have a hidden agenda and you show up to a workshop that this is what that individual does, and so here's what I'm getting to. Everyone had an opportunity to tell us who they were, where did they travel from, and what is it they do, so we may be able to refer them or maybe even be able to collab, right? This particular guy gets up and, of course, he had on his cowboy boots, cowboy hat. That's fine. But that was an indicator right there to me, okay? And he made this announcement going, yeah, my name is so-and-so, and I'm the owner of so-and-so drone company, and I want all of y'all to come work for me. No. So when he was done, I politely received the mic back, and I had to make the announcement to say, there's one thing to get up and tell us who you are, where you travel from, what is that you can do, what is that you do, and how we can maybe refer or support you. But it's another thing to come to someone's workshop knowing what they do, but you still trying to override it because you want to shine on somebody's workshop. That's a no-no. So of course he got up and left, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. And I wish we would have had video.
We don't.
That. It would have been a viral moment.
No, it wouldn't have been. No,
it would have
to you, but for me, and I'm sure it would, because entertainment is what people like. For me, it's us being firm on what you're not going to do, and that's why. And I had to give a shout out and credit to this person. Her name is Bridget Moody. Bridget has always taught me, Kevin, if you don't develop the culture of what it is that you're doing, people will bring their own. So when he realized that we have already created the culture here and you can't just bring your own culture here, you already know there's no room for you. So that was the one takeaway, that you got to learn to create the culture, because if you don't, people will bring their own.
Correct.
That's a given. The second thing was when you talked about reinventing yourself. And a lot of times people who are over the age of 40, right, feel like, I don't know what to do in my second half. So I want you to talk about, what did you share with the group about reinventing yourself and the people that have done it, and including you, and be sure to, letting everybody know how young you are. Go ahead.
So I think it is important for people to be able to pivot and know that it's okay, and that some of us, don't start out like a Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 and you got it all together by the time you're like 12 years old, mm-hmm. or a Tiger Woods, and your parents groom you to mm-hmm.
To be a golf player,
and the tennis players and all of that,
the Serena Williamses and Venus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Some of us, we don't have that in our background, but that doesn't mean that by the time you're 40, it's time for you to retire and give up and hope for the best. We're looking for people who understand sometimes you do have to change careers or pivot and do something outside of your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And so what I do during the workshop, whether it's live or the virtual Zoom call, mm-hmm. is give them examples, because again, when people see other people doing it, they think, okay, I can do it too. So we use the example of Oprah Winfrey,
Okay.
and how she started her the OWN network after 40 years old.
Okay.
We do the example, talk about Tyler Perry starting his Tyler Perry Studios. George Foreman, who hasn't had a George Foreman grill, you know, and you probably bought the grill because you knew George Foreman is the former boxer champion. And so,
And then there's you. So let's talk about you.
and then there's,
How young were you when you reinvented yourself?
you know, I don't exactly know the age I
Well, hold
was.
on. I think you do, because TCB Drones has been in existence how many years?
Oh, so you consider that to be a reinvention?
Yeah.
It's been in existence since 2021. And here's the thing.
All right, hold on.
I've always
Wait a minute.
been an entrepreneur.
Right, but what
in
age
fact,
were
when I
you?
was home
Okay.
at my mother's house.
So you're not going to tell us the age you were when you reinvented yourself with TCB Drones?
I was over 40.
I mean, but like what number?
I can't really remember that. But my point is,
okay.
and the point is,
Okay.
is that no matter what age
Were you in your
are,
50s?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And so,
because you saying, you know, you giving everybody else's age out the
no,
40.
I said over. And then I said Steffanie was over 40.
All right, go ahead.
So what I've realized is some people, it's in their family bloodline to be to pivot and to do different things.
Okay.
When I was home looking through my mother's things, she has done so many so many different products, offers so many different services. We've just been women who didn't wait for somebody to come and rescue us.
You were women who didn't ask for a seat at the table. You just
made our own table, pulled up a seat, those types of things. And so, again, there's always going to be people who are going to sit by and wait for somebody to tell them what to do.
Okay.
But in today's climate, you got to be willing to take the initiative.
Okay.
And those are the people we want to work with, as well as people who are looking for somebody to show them the way, because that's what we do. Our X factor is that we want to coach you through to get your certification and help you to get into an industry using your drone, because there are so many industries that use drone technology.
All right.
And that's what's most important.
All right. So let's talk about Atlanta. You were in Atlanta, what, last month? I mean, this is...
It was at the end of August.
Okay, so August of 2025. So how did you end up being one of the featured speakers there? Like, how did that happen, and what was that experience like?
Well, I was one of the featured speakers at the National Black Business Conference in Atlanta. And it all came because of my relationship with the National Black Chamber of Commerce.
The U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce.
No, there's the U.S. Black Chamber, and then there's the National Black Chamber.
Really?
Yes.
So it's two separate
different ones.
Okay.
So I went in 2023. Went to Senegal to promote TCB Drones.
Senegal, Texas, or
Senegal,
Arkansas?
Dakar.
Oh, so out of the U.S.
in West Africa.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes we don't know. We be thinking that's here in the United States. Seriously, I'm serious.
Okay.
Yeah. So you travel abroad.
I did.
Okay.
And I do often.
Okay, let's keep it going.
So as a member of the delegation with the National Black Chamber of Commerce, went to Senegal, West Africa to promote my company, and I was with other business owners.
All right.
So I have the business relationship with the president, Charles DeBow.
Okay.
And so he...
Of the National Black
Chamber of Commerce,
okay.
yes.
All right.
So he referred me and said, hey, we're looking for national speakers, workshop speakers. Why don't you apply?
Okay.
Because we do a lot of business together. So I applied, and then they accepted. So I was able to be one of the featured workshop speakers.
Okay.
And so, of course, on that front, there were people from across the world and the country, the United States, who were in Atlanta for the conference. So we got to a chance to build the brand recognition of the company, and we had a booth. So we met tons of people who I'm building on that relationship, and now because of that, we have an opportunity to provide drone training services in different countries in Africa, on the continent of Africa.
All right, so let's take a look at the vision for your academy. What is the ultimate vision for TCB Drones Academy, and what role do you see yourself playing in as far as being in a large drone industry?
The vision that I have and the plan is for us to be not just known regionally in Texas, not just known throughout the United States, but in the words of Candy Burrs, worldwide is what we're going for. And so how does that happen? By building alliances with different people and other companies to get those contracts. And so through building the network and getting more contracts, when we help people to cross the finish line to become drone certified pilots, then we can put them on those contracts. And so they then can see the reality of getting the return on their investment of what they did to get to where they are. And so that's the goal. Build the network worldwide, teach the next generation of drone pilots, and then continue that growth and continue to allow people to see what we can do, not as individuals, but as a team.
All right, so let's talk about the 2-day training workshops. Why are you launching a 2-day training academy across different cities, and what does that workshop look like, and what is the outcome that you want for the attendees? 2 days are the 2 days like 8-hour days? Are they 10-hour days? Talk a little bit about that.
So we've decided that, and with your guidance on this, because you're a visionary and about teaching about growth and the best route to take. So we decided that it's a good idea. The best way for us to grow is to work with municipalities across the country and let them introduce us to their community leaders, whether it's on a college campus.
Let me ask you this. Hold on, because I want to address each one individually. So why do you believe city and county governments need to get behind the drone pilot training?
Well, because they have a community of people who they should want to help to be involved with growth in the
or let me ask this question.
technology.
What sectors do you feel like city and county governments could utilize drone training?
Okay, well, drone training can be used for erosion control, for building inspections,
Okay.
for traffic control, for
Okay.
law enforcement,
Right.
fire and rescue.
Okay.
Pick one of those. So, because those are the different ways in which drones are being
Right.
used now. So if the municipality has a group of residents and and employees who are trained to do the work, then they can better help themselves as well as the community residents to be a part of the growth.
Okay.
So that's what is the reason for us using municipalities.
Let's talk about HBCUs and universities. So how can HBCUs and universities benefit from adopting drone pilot programs for their students?
how can they better adopt programs for their students?
How can they benefit from adopting this drone pilot program for their students?
Well, a lot of times, just as, and I'll go to the sports analogy, some students will pick a predominantly white university over a predominantly black university because they feel like the opportunities are better there for them to excel in their sports career, in their sporting and athletic endeavors. So the same goes for academics. We think that we're going to get a better opportunity if we go to a white university, some people. So it would benefit HBCUs to put themselves in a position to have a technology-driven curriculum that includes drones, drone technology, science, and all of those types of career strategies, because you can show that the opportunities are just as good here as anywhere else. And so that's the benefit. You attract students who want to take that track, and you let them know as well that your university is a good place to do that. And, that might open up some more grant dollars if they start giving grants or keep giving grants for your university to attract those dollars as well as the students.
Let me ask you this. You're a graduate from Tennessee State University, right?
Correct.
That's a HBCU?
Yes.
Do they have this program on their campus?
Last time I checked about a year ago, no, they do not.
So are you going to follow up with them? And
I've tried to, and it wasn't, not that they weren't receptive, but maybe it wasn't the right time. And so I always like to say, I'm going to dance with who wants to dance with me.
No, I get that.
So far, I've got a couple of universities who are wanting to dance with TCB Drones that I'm focused on. And then when TSU is available, we'll come back around.
Okay, when was the last time you reached out to them?
About a year ago.
Okay, so do you feel like it's time to reach out to them again?
Right now, I'm reaching out to people who reached out to me.
Okay.
And then when I come back around, when I won't have nobody to reach out to, and then I'll come back over there.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, because as you can see, like, I'm just saying. No, I'm always going to challenge the questions, right? That's just what I'm supposed to do. I'm challenging the question, but I'm asking the question to see if I can challenge the question.
Right. I mean, and it's not that I have anything against them, but that's like, like I said at the top, there's so many hours in a day. There's only 24 hours in a day. And so I'm going to not waste it chasing somebody who already said, we'll think about it.
Okay. All right.
I mean, the people over here who said, yeah, come over here.
Okay. I get that. Okay. I'm just asking a question. That's all.
And that's my answer.
Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about private security firms. So why is drone pilot training especially important for private security firms, and how could it give them the edge?
So one of the people, Russell from Houston, I met him in Atlanta at the conference.
Okay.
And he has since signed up for the 3-day virtual course, has a security company in Houston.
Okay.
And it was a wonderful story where we met Russell and his wife, and they have a son. His son wasn't there, but he and his wife were, and she talked about how she was wanting to support him in whatever his endeavors were. It's not a lot, so this is a sidebar tangent. It's not a lot of times, or it should be more times, that a spouse seems so supportive in helping her husband to get to where he's trying to go. So kudos to her.
So are you saying a man with a vision needs a woman with directions? Is that what you're saying?
He or she needs that support.
I said, are you saying a man?
Those are not my words. Those are yours. Yeah.
But do you feel like a man with a vision needs a woman with directions? Because I think that. I believe that.
Okay, well then say, make it a affirmation and not a question.
Wait, I always like, I'm a master asker. See, Okay. All right. So let's talk about.
Going back, because I didn't finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So I think that security company, so Russell has a security company, and one of the things that Russell was wanting to do was to incorporate drones in his perimeter security contracts.
Okay.
And so having him as a certified pilot, he's going to get his son to get certified as well.
Okay.
So then that opens them up to more contracts and more streams of income. So looking outside of the vision for what you have, I'll say this one last thing. There was someone at the conference who says, well, I don't see how drones can work with what I'm doing. I work with nursing homes. And I said, just off the top of my head at that time, I said, well, nursing homes means people who have possibly mobility issues. So how about proposing that you do drone delivery to the nursing home to deliver, get with a pharmaceutical company nearby or get with a grocery store nearby and see how you can develop some type of partnership with them. So thinking of how, because that's how things happen. Somebody comes up with this crazy idea that nobody else has ever thought of, and before you know it, they follow through, and next thing you know, we're doing what they thought about, and they're making all the money.
All right, so I want to go back to private security firms because my background is
Law enforcement.
prior law enforcement.
Okay.
So one of the issues that I see a lot of security companies is typically there's only one guard to big high-rise buildings. So whether that high-rise building is, the name of that building is the flagship of whatever company it is, it's still a high-rise building. And so when I look at that, there's only so much one guard can do. And I think having security guards, giving them the ability to have a drone pilot license allows them to take that drone and scan different areas of the building that if they were to do it on foot, it's going to take, an hour, could take more than that, depending on the size of the building. So that's one of the things I can see security firms, bringing in your academy in to prep their security personnel for taking the 107 pilot test. The other thing I see when it comes to security is, and this is no disrespect when I say this, okay? No disrespect, no shade. Most security personnel have weight issues. And when I mean weight issues, I mean if something happens, them running.
How fast are they going to respond?
Them running to a situation in a timely manner because of their weight issues, that's another reason to be proactive with a drone.
Right. And not to mention they, and most of them that I see, and I know this is not going to become a security bashing.
No, it's not. I mean, no, that's what I said. No shade.
Or, some of them say, well, I got this golf cart. But then you're just like chilling on the golf cart. You're really not looking. So, right. This is just another tool to add to how you can be better at securing the perimeter of the property that you're supposed to be securing. And, we all, especially in metropolitan areas, I live in a condo and my vehicle has been broken into at least twice. Okay. And so, I'm asking, well, do you have cameras? No, we don't. We can't afford the cameras, I was told. And I've even approached them about a proposal to use my drone company to be a part of the security. Mm-hmm. And so that's where we are now, because giving people options and tools will better equip them to do better at the current job that they're doing. So putting yourself, whether you are a security company or a property that has a number of buildings or an office complex, where it's important for you to secure the people who come here, or have a level of security for the people who are coming in and out, you know, because making sure that they have that level of security is going to increase the value that you have in their eyes. That's important. I was driving down 183 the other day and saw.
Where is 183? Here in Texas, or
183 in Irving, Texas.
Okay.
And saw that at Irving Mall they had put up that, as they do periodically, that traveling theme park where the rides. And so I thought, they just put this thing up here, then they pack it up and put it up over there, pack it up. I wonder, how do they actually confirm that all the bolts are tight on that Ferris wheel so nobody goes flying out, you know, the visual. We don't want to see that. But so I did contact the amusement park company to say, this is the proposal. So having those ideas and having a real life scenario to show people why they need your services is something that Team Vision, your company, can help people to put them in a position to get those contracts, and not just be looking for somebody to give you an opportunity. You got to make your opportunity.
All right, so let's talk about campus security. There's been a huge influx of school and campus shootings, right? When I say campus, I'm talking about school campuses and college campuses. We just not here recently witnessed the shooting on a college campus in Utah. We're seeing shootings on middle school, elementary, and high school campuses. How can, drones be a possible deterrent, or even be what I call proactive to? I don't want to use the word protect, but to
advance warning,
have eyes in the sky type of situation. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes,
campus safety.
If you are able to see something coming before it happens, that is a way to help your current security staff, or your current staff, or whoever it is, to put into action whatever plan that you have, or that you run and lock the door, run and tell somebody, make some calls. So that's what a drone is an eye, and it can be an eye in the sky, a different point of view on whatever is about to happen or is happening. And so that's important to do that. And so, when you have the possibility, or you have a history and you see the trends of what's happening, you want to have a way to prevent it. And if not prevent it, to be able to see it coming in enough time for you to make some changes or to adapt to what's about to happen. And that's what having a drone as a part of your security plan can be.
So I can see that, because most of these college campus shootings are happening, and we're talking about people who are marksmen, snipers. They're doing this they're climbing up on these tall buildings, right? Getting in position with their high-powered rifle, and they're taking these shots. And so to have a drone circulating and covering these high buildings where our visibility is limited, I think that is a deterrent. What do you think?
Oh yeah, most yeah. Yes, most definitely that's a deterrent. And that will keep people, if it would just allow for the administration, allow for your security team, to be able to make it more difficult for people to do that. And then I want to say this to you, Kevin. So you always kid me. Is that the right word? You always, what's the word the kids say today? You always say to me, because I put the thing on my steering wheel.
Oh, so she has this. What? I guess it must have came out like in the 90s.
A wheel.
No, that's that
wheel lock.
No, that's that crowbar. That thing that
goes across.
Yeah, like people use alarm system now.
But here's the thing.
Sam, what is it called? But they call it something else because people was buying that back in the 90s. Yeah, she still put that on her steering wheel.
But see, here's the thing. It's a visual deterrent. Because
it is.
It's the same thing with a drone.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you. If someone sees a drone as they're climbing the building with a high-powered rifle, I think I'm climbing back down because I'm caught. I'm busted.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that just keeps people from. They pass my vehicle up. They're like, I don't want to have to deal with that too.
Yeah.
And then they pass it up. Okay. It's the same thing. Oh, it's a drone. I don't want to get caught.
Okay.
So let me keep it moving.
All right. So let's talk about this last piece because I think this is so important. You always figuring out ways to be the first in a category. And when I say be the first in a category, I'm talking about when it comes to our community, right? Being the first Black in a category. For the longest, there were no minority or Black-owned drone mechanics here in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. And so you recently have brought on a college graduate who has a master's in, I forgot the type of engineering, but anyway, his master's is building prototypes. And so he knows how to build prototypes for drones, customizing them, and he also knows how to repair drones. So now, I guess it's what TCB Drones repair, drone repair. Congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, Kevin. So yeah, one of the things that we're doing is, and let me say, my goal is not to be first in really anything. It just turns out that,
well, I mean, yeah, I get that, but if you are the first to do something, I think that is applaudable, right?
Well, thank you for the applause.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm just trying to be viable and relevant, and a solution to somebody's problem.
Right.
So if you always in business, if you say, how can I be the solution to somebody's problem,
right,
you're always going to be in a position where people want your services or your product. Mm-hmm. And so that led us to say, yeah, more people are getting drones. And as you are...
Well, I think people were asking you, who would you recommend to either purchase a drone from or fix their drone? I think that's how the light bulb moment came up when you kept saying, I got to figure out how to accommodate this question it keeps coming up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I want to figure out how to be the solution to the question,
right,
the problem that people keep addressing or asking me. And so as people are starting to get more drones, then there's going to be the need for
drone mechanics,
drone repairs.
Yeah.
And so you introduced us to Ross.
Well, okay. We ain't got to go into the. Okay. Yeah, you just have a new person on the staff, right? Well, the reason why we don't do that is because somebody.
How you know? You don't even know what I was gonna say.
You were about to say the man's name.
You don't know.
What? Well, you
But I
start
was
with an
going to
R.
say his name, but
Okay,
I wasn't going to say
anyway,
anything else.
Anyway, yeah. So the point I'm making is that, again, you're the first to have a drone mechanic and someone who can also build custom drones, right? And so the question may be, well, Kevin, who would buy custom drones? People who don't want to have the same drone that everybody else has. That's who would buy it, right?
Right, just like a car. You want the same car everybody else has.
And so there's a market for that. Believe it or not, there is a market for people who want their own custom drone that is fit for their specifications.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you want to say as we close out?
I want to say that 2025 has been amazing, and we are still got a few months left.
Right.
But our plan, our goal is to do double the growth that we have done. We double the growth in 2026 that we have done in 2025. And that just speaks to, if you'd have asked me 2 or 3 years ago when I started this company,
at what age?
Where I thought it would be, it is
what
growing
age?
by leaps and bounds.
Okay. All right.
And so just simply amazing. So, plenty of life left no matter what age.
Okay. All right.
And so plenty of business to be done.
All right.
Plenty of networks, and that's what it's all about. Contacting us, go to tcbdrones.com for the latest information.
And the blog, you just recently added a blog on the website, right?
I added a blog.
Yeah. And the website actually will have a conversation with you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so see, these are the things that, and you know what? The CEO should not know all this stuff. That's the importance of having a team. But when you go to TCBDrones.com, there's a lot of new upgrades to the website. One, you can see all the podcast interviews Steffanie has had. Number two, there's a blog. And the goal is to have a new blog on there every day about things that people are asking for, right? Y'all stop looking at me with this one lens, okay? Don't do that. And then also on the website is the upcoming events, right? So there is a free webinar that's coming up, and so how do you know when the webinar is coming up? Go to tcbdrones.com. Now, Steffanie, this is where I want to say this to you, all right? First of all, I want to say thank you for always showing up and coming to these interviews. And sharing the story and the vision behind TCB Drones. And we all know that your work is not about flying. It's about elevating the communities. It's about creating opportunities. And it's about shaping the future of the entire industry. That's what we are seeing from you and your company. So to our listeners, you've been inspired, I'm sure, by what you heard today. So again, visit tcbdrones.com, learn more, sign up for upcoming workshops, or find out how you can host a 2-day training in your city with the different city officials, the different county governments, HBCUs, any organization or association that need their personnel to be drone certified. So again, this has been Catch the Vision. And remember, opportunities don't wait, and neither should you. So until the next time, I want you to keep catching the vision, keep catching the vision, keep catching the vision. And I'm going to catch this other lens to my left eye. It's a wrap.